Hey, what's going on everyone? It's Eric. Welcome to the video. Had a really good question from someone the other day, and I'm going to read it to you on my phone here. Hello, I have seen some of your videos and have a very good discussion for you. In the past year, I've been a mow and blow, or a mow, blow, and go guy, and offering leaf removal with some limited landscaping. I'm in a city, Charlotte, North Carolina, and lawn care is very competitive. I'm moving more towards the lawn application side of the business instead of the mowing. My goal for 2014 is to just do applications still. It's competitive in my area and a lot of people are doing it. My discussion for you is how to compete with so much competition. I was talking to a guy at Let's Go and he agreed that it is very cutthroat and anyone with a mower, well, basically you get what I'm saying. And then at the very end here, he says, any advice on how to compete and stand out from the rest? And I actually wrote a couple notes here for you. Took some key things out of what you said. So I guess the way that I'm doing my business is different than yours. So, and that's not, there's nothing right about either one of these situations, but when I look at it from what you're saying, I can only go off of my personal experience. But I will. So what I'm going to say is one of the key things that you said is you want to do applications instead of mowing. Well, I do applications and I do mowing. I look at the lawn care industry as multiple industries within an industry. So services that we offer is full tree service, but we only do the trees that we want to do. So we don't have a climber on staff. We do easy trees. That's one of the things that I personally do is trees. And I don't have an employee that I pay to do that yet. Someday maybe I will. Maybe I just won't do trees when my other businesses are up to where I can afford not to do trees. But anyway, so I do trees. I mean stump grinding. We have a really awesome stump grinding. We actually have two stump grinders. Okay, we do irrigation service. We do not install, but we do service. I'm in a state where we have to winterize them. It's very profitable thing that we do. We do lawn mowing and everything that goes around lawn mowing. So cleanups. We do dethatching. We do aerating. We do fertilizer, weed control. We even do some stuff with trees. I have a skid tank that with a gun, and I can shoot trees and stuff like that. Now, I do all my marketing. Not, I shouldn't even say that anymore because I'm getting away from doing it all. But just as I grow, we're doing more and more different things. But when I first started out, all I did was online advertising, and mostly like Google search. And I know this is a lot that I'm going into here, but I'm trying to get specific for you. So basically, when you do Google search, the main thing that I need is I just need traffic. I need as many leads as possible to put through, you know, my system so that I can have the chance to get more business. So the more services that are offered, the better of chance that I have of doing that. But there's companies in my market. There's huge. I mean, multi-million-dollar companies. I mean, 10 millions of dollars of companies in the market I'm in that only do trees, that only do fertilizer. So like a Scott's or a True Green, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. And it sounds like that's kind of what you want to do is you want to focus on one thing. So there's tree companies. And this is what I mean by the different businesses within inside of I guess it would be the green industry. So there's tree companies, there's irrigation companies. All they do is irrigation. They focus on that. They make a lot of money, Fertilizer companies, obviously True Green is a huge company. You don't know how many millions they're worth, but a lot. There's just companies that mow lawns, and I've seen that, even on the commercial side. All they do is they mow lawns, and anything else, maybe they'll just sub it out, or maybe they're getting subbed out, and that's all they do. There's even companies that all they do is plow snow. You probably know all this stuff. So with doing that, the good thing about that is you learn something, you do it well, that's all you do, and that's how you would differentiate yourself. You say that this is all I do, and I do it well, and you get to the thing about being an entrepreneur and especially in the lawn care business is competing. Um, yeah, how do you compete? You said that. How do you compete with competitors? I'm still getting back to this uh, applications instead of, but I guess I can some just say that that's over with. For me, I do all of these things and then I refer business from, so I go to a tree and then when I'm there doing a tree, they need work on their lawn. So now I'm going to give them a price, a realistic price, but what my prices are, and if they like what I do, I'm not get I'm not going to be, having to compete with all the other guys on Craigslist that are competing on price because they don't want to go through the hassles of going on Craigslist. And most of the time they want it done right now. So you know, they say, well, I got this. I really got some weeds going on here, and what do you recommend for that? Well, fertilizer program, weed control, $300 for the season or whatever it may be. Okay, yeah, that sounds good. That sounds reasonable. Let's do it. That's how I beat. Let me see. What did you say specifically? Uh, Applications instead. So I think it's good to do a bunch of different things because then you're going to refer the most people to your business. Even though you want to have friends that do other things that can refer back to you that they don't do. But if you do everything, you go out and do a job, and then you can refer yourself the business. You're going to get a lot more good leads that way of different things that you do, keeping it all in house. Okay, so compete with competitors. And this goes back to being a specialist. I, I we have skid steers. We have two skid steers. We use them mostly for plowing. Does that mean that we do landscaping? No. Does that mean I didn't, build a boulder retaining wall for myself in my own house? No, it doesn't. I have one at my house, had some drainage issues, did it, and you know that's just a bonus of being an owner of a company and just um, the money that you're making, just it doesn't mean that you have to make a lot of money on top of the other extra things that you get by being an owner and having cool equipment that you can work with and stuff like that. But that's random. But the main thing is I can't do a landscaping job and be profitable at it unless I'm super slow or it's a good client that understands that, I'm going to do a good job, but it's going to take me a lot longer because I don't have a landscaping crew. I don't really have the skills and know how to do it. So if you were an expert at that, you could beat me out on price and you wouldn't be lowballing. You'd probably be making more of a profit than I would at 10%, 15% higher. Okay. So you got to work towards having the best equipment that you can possibly have. I think I have a really good scenario for you. I'll just tell you about. I think you might have asked about some of the equipment that I use and stuff too, but maybe that was another person that asked. So one of the things that separates us from the guys on Craigslist, and I actually advertise on Craigslist. All my high profit services, any way I can get high profit services, I advertise in. Craigslist is a great way. I have gotten lots of great people, a handful of great people from Craigslist. So not against Craigslist at all. But is leaf removal, spring and fall cleanups type of thing. So the guy that's unemployed, that's just trying to make some money, and maybe thinking about starting a business, he wants to make just just a little bit more money than he's making at a job. So let's just say that he was an average guy and he made $15 at a job. So if he made $25 an hour picking up leaves, he'd be happy with that. So for right now, he thinks that's really good money, especially because it's cash to him. It's really good money. So how I compete with that is I can, first off, there's a lot of different things, but just the basics here is, what is he using for equipment? What am I using for equipment? I have a $10,000 lawnmower with a $3,000 vacuum system with a 10,000, I don't know how much it, probably 8 to 8,000 dollar 14-foot dump trailer, or 14-yard dump trailer that has a vacuum on it, on the back of it, or on the tongue of it, so that when I pull up, so I pick up the leaves, dump them on the curb, pick up the leaves from my vac on the trailer. I have less trips to the compost site. I actually don't even go to the compost, so I don't even have that expense, which most people don't have the connections to just figure out. Use your clients that you have, and if they have space, ask them if you can dump your leaves there or anywhere else for that matter. But you see what I'm saying? So I make less trips to the compost. I don't have the compost fee. I'm making more per hour because I have way better, more efficient equipment than the guy that wants to make $25 an hour. I go to the dump. Everybody takes them an hour to rake the leaves out of their trailer. I just push a button, dump 14 yards of compacted leaves, so it's probably more like 30 yards, and put it back down. It literally takes 5 minutes, and I can go back and get more leaves. So that's how you compete. You upgrade your equipment to the top end. And obviously there's a lot of companies that have top end equipment. I mean, there's a lot, but those guys are in a different mind frame than a lot of the guys on Craigslist that are competing over price. But it's hard for those guys to explain that to somebody that they're talking to that says, well, this guy told me $25 an hour for a cleanup. Why are you at $65 an hour for a cleanup? Well, here's why I'm at $65 for a cleanup. Then you just go and tell them. So that was one thing. Let me see what else you have here. Okay, I guess I went over that. And then I guess you just ask, how do you compete? That's how you compete. Then how do you stand out from the rest? Basically the stuff that you said, But the main thing is you just show up and you say that you're going to do something, and then at all costs you try to do what you say that you're going to do. And I'm 28 years old, and this is it's 2014 right now. I graduated in 04. I've got these stupid white Echo sweatpants that I'm wearing, that I wear around the house now. And I don't, back when I was, 16 years old, this is what I wanted for Christmas, was these stupid white, Echo is the brand name, sweatpants. You know how much these things cost? $80. And how much do sweatpants cost? They don't cost $80. Okay? So you want to build the brand, and then you're able to, I don't know, you're able to set a price, and within your network of people, you can get that price. And you can't set it so outrageous that it's almost like ripping off, your clients that you do have. I mean, it has to be realistic, in my opinion. I mean, I guess that's how my mind thinks. It's got to be somewhat in the realm of what other people are charging for me to do that ethically. But so that's building a brand, when everybody sees your trucks around, or your truck, and they see you around, they get comfortable with what you have to offer. So hopefully you guys like the video, and I know it's a little bit longer, but there was a lot to answer in there. So yeah, hopefully you liked it.